Hey guys, what's going on? My name is Kaan, also known as Digester, and today we've got another FIFA 21 tutorial video for you. Team of the Season event is upon us, so we're giving you our top 5 tips on how to crush the Team of the Season weekend leagues. Now that the Team of the Season is out, every FIFA player will play their hearts out because this event will give the best possible cards from the leagues all around the world. You are going to need the best strategies, both offensively and defensively, as well as mentally, to beat your opponents. So let's get going. In every FIFA, there are meta formations, which means a much more dominant setup that helps you play the game more efficiently. It is important to find the one formation that suits your style the most, so don't be afraid of trying out new formations. We are going to introduce you 2 meta formations with their instructions, which are currently the strongest. Let's start with 4-4-2. 4-4-2 consists of 4 defenders, 2 central midfielders, 2 wingers, and 2 strikers. In terms of offense, this formation offers opportunities both through the center and the wing, and in the meanwhile, a heavy defensive setup on the back. With this versatile formation, you can adapt to different situations. That means you can set up your game and dominate the ball in the opponent's half, or have a more counter-attacking approach and turn defense into offense. You'll want your wingbacks on stay back while attacking by default to avoid unnecessary openings, and your wingers on come back on defense to fortify the wings even more defensively. Since there are 2 sets of players on the wings, make sure to have your CMs on cover center and stay back while attacking. Stay back while attacking option will prevent them running into the opposition box, which forces them to wait in the middle of the opponent's half. So if you need to reset the attack, those 2 will be your main option. Last but not least, your striker should be set on stay central and stay forward. After recovering the ball, there is a chance to start the counter attack by sending a long ball to your strikers, and then the wingers on both sides will support your strikers with their run. As for the tactics, you can have your defense on a balance style with 4 width and 4 depth, and your offense on balance with default numbers. You will see a lot of players starting their game with 4-4-2 throughout your weekend league journey. The other meta formation right now is one with the 5 defenders, either 5-3-2 or 5-2-1-2. The main strategy of this tactic is to have a center focused setup, but the wingbacks are really important too, since they are the only ones who have activity on the wing both offensively and defensively. The most important instruction of this formation is about the wingbacks, which is the join the attack instruction. If you do not use this instruction with this tactic, you won't be able to get anything going from the wing, and your opponent will find it much easier to defend you since you'll only have activity in the middle. With the current meta, the runs of the wingbacks are surprisingly effective, and they can create unexpected goal scoring opportunities by running down the wing. For the central midfielders, make sure to set them on cover center, and the most defensive one should be set on stay back while attacking. Strikers should be set on default, and the tactics could be same as the 4-4-2. Like we mentioned before, you need to watch the runs of your players while attacking with 5-3-2. Once you stay patient and get the optimal run, you'll find yourself in front of the goal. In the current meta, your most important goal should be to remain in front of your opponent instead of getting a tackle in. So regardless of what situation you're facing, you need to maintain your ground and be solid in your defense. As we mentioned the importance of the counterattack approach in the meta formations, you will see a lot of players going for long through balls after successfully defending your attack and recovering the ball. Mostly the strikers will wait up front for the counterattack to happen, so once the defense gets the ball, it is likely that they will send the ball to either one of the strikers and make the other one run. The striker who is running will have the momentum and the acceleration once he receives the ball, so you have to stop him. Before going into that, I just want to remind you that if you're looking to get a better experience by improving your gameplay and achieve higher ranks in division rivals and FUT champions, then definitely check the Guide Plus, which has been delivering quality and exclusive content for a couple of months now. On the Guide Plus, we provide 4 articles and videos every single week with the most recent meta gameplay tips featuring FIFA Ultimate Team content, tactic tips and formation guides, as well as mentality tips, and you'll also be able to join the exclusive Discord channel in which you'll have the opportunity to have a closer contact with our community. Just recently, we published a detailed article on how to defend runners on a counterattack after losing the ball, so if you're interested in that and want to improve your gameplay continuously, check out the Guide Plus link down in the description. There are 2 ways to stop the through ball. You can either select the defender that is closer to the passer and cut off the pass, or you can switch to the defender who is closer to the receiver and defend the point where the runner could potentially receive the ball. Either way, right analog switching is a key factor here, which allows you to select the exact player you need. If you can't make it in time to cut the pass off in its initial starting point, trying to intercept it before it reaches the end point could be a little risky, so always make sure you quickly select the right defender and get him into the right position. Smart and patient attacking is going to be your best tool during the Team of the Season weekend leagues. The games are going to be real tight and the opponent will try everything in his power not to give away any chances to you. You are going to see crowded defenses while the opponent only controls one player circling around looking for an error. In these kinds of situations, you have to remain patient and play smart, because the defender's goal is either to cover the potential passing lanes by circling around or recover the ball from you as he continues to move from one side to another while getting closer. In these both cases, you need to be able to cover the ball, and you do that by simply turning around, because once you can put your body between the ball and the defender, he can get a touch on the ball. Let's take a closer look with a couple more examples. In this first example, my opponent tries to remain between my striker and the goalkeeper, and in the meanwhile, he gets closer and also moves his player up and down. I need to find the optimal space for the goal scoring opportunity, so I turn around, cover the ball and quickly pass it backwards, which gives me time to decide in which direction the next pass should go. As I take a look again on the field, there are 4 defenders on the upper side of the pitch and only 1 on the lower side. Covering the ball in the earlier stage and not rushing into the opposition defense created this position, as it ends up with one-on-one with the keeper and the goal. In the following example, I continue to shield the ball by turning my back against the defender all the time, not leaving any room for any mistake or for the opponent to get the ball. While shielding the ball, I'm not vulnerable against any tackle and I can easily decide which steps I will take. If your opponent goes aggressive and tries to get closer, don't panic and pass the ball back. There is no way you can get the ball as long as you don't throw it out recklessly, because you are still shielding it. After getting rid of the defensive midfielders, you're going to face the last line of the defense. So here, for example, continuously shielding the ball and dragging one defender to the lower side of the pitch away from his position makes the whole defense shift towards that area, and my player on the other side is completely open for the finish. So this is the most difficult part. No matter how talented you are, how much you practice, it is impossible to achieve something in FIFA without the right mentality. Getting frustrated sometimes is a very natural part of our life, and it is the same in FIFA as well. Sometimes things go our way, the way we want, and sometimes we can't control things. So thinking about this and being able to control ourselves is the key to fulfill our full potential. That is why we need to avoid getting tilt. If you start complaining out loud, or even worse, if you give up in any stage of the game, you deny yourself of the success you could have. Sometimes there could be some problems, or you can just be unlucky throughout the game. But focusing on these kinds of problems and starting to complain about it will drag you away from the match. You can complain all about it right after the game, but during the game, you need to endure and focus on the football you play. Because if you don't do that, later you will ask yourself how the match would have ended if you were only focusing on the game instead of the problems, and you will regret it. Let's say you lost the game and can't get it out of your head. The first thing you need to avoid is to get into another one. If you can't get the previous loss out of your head, you will only get mad all over again over the things that happened in the previous match, and this will affect your next game. Give yourself some time to cool down a bit so you can refresh your mindset. This could be 15 minutes or half an hour, and it all depends on you. You can try to do something that would make you happy, for example talking to a friend or watching your favorite series, streamer, whatever that would get you cooled down. After that, you can go into the next game and be your natural self. Last but not least, confidence is very important. Every man has their limits, but you can extend your limits by practicing hard. No matter how bad the game goes, you need to tell yourself that you can beat anyone, anytime by giving your everything. Even if you go down by 2 in the earlier stages, you are not allowed to lose confidence, because if you lose it, then you'll also give up on the game. Let's say your opponent starts the game better and finds an early goal. It is really wise to accept that your opponent plays good, but you need to tell yourself, I could be better than this, and I will be. If you don't believe in yourself, then why should you even try, or why should you win? If you believe in yourself and try everything in your power to win the game until the last minute, you can also tell yourself after the game, okay, I've tried everything I could possibly do, but that was not enough and maybe I'm doing something wrong, so I won't do those again in the next games. This mentality will let you learn from your mistakes and improve yourself as well, because once you can accept that what you're doing is wrong, the path to improvement opens up. But in the meanwhile, you need to avoid overconfidence, as it can become a very lethal factor against your own self. A game is never over until the last second, so don't take anything for granted. As an example, I want to present you a FUT Champions game I recently played. I went up 4-0 against my opponent and then began doing something which I normally don't do. I thought the game was over and I stopped playing the game the way I played until the 4-0, and the opponent made his comeback from that. He scored a late goal in the 88th minute and the match went to overtime and then to penalties. I was actually shocked by that and knew that it was my own fault that the match came to that situation. Then I went 2-0 down in the penalties, and for a second I thought, okay, I am to blame here and I'm going to lose. With a last second thought, I quickly came back from this and actually won the penalties by forcing myself into the opponent's head. This is a perfect example for how dangerous overconfidence is and how important it is not to give up before the end. Now that we already talked about the mental part, it's also important to have multiple game plans. Not every opponent plays the same, and you could have difficulties with your default setup once facing different opponents. That is why you need a second or maybe a third formation and the game plan. The key point to adjust yourself to your opponent is to analyze him in the first 10-15 minutes. Most of the players will show their initial game plan at the start of the game, so quickly building a pattern and taking caution against that will let you disrupt his setup. As an example, once you have the idea that the opponent is pressing up too high, you can try to get rid of the pressure by throwing out long balls to punish him in his backyard, or on the other side of the pitch, if he is going for the wing more occasionally than the center, you can play more actively with your wing backs and cut off his wing activity. Study his habits in the earlier stage and change your game style to get advantage out of it. That would do. As the guide team, we really wish that this video works out for you and we hope that you liked it. If you find it useful, make sure to share your thoughts in the comment section below, drop a like, and subscribe for the upcoming FIFA 21 content. Hope you guys have a magnificent team of the season journey. I'm out. Peace.